I wonder if you know John Mann. John Mann was the lead singer of Spirit of the West. And he died at a very young age of Alzheimer's. So his wife, Jill Daum, beautiful woman, actor, and she just was always so positive about everything. Now, while John was in decline, they had a son that was living on the street, that was homeless, and obviously had some struggles. And again, I just thought Jill was so strong. So I wrote this song for her, and I sent it to her, and she said, I like the song, but I got to run it by my son to see what he thinks about you telling the story. And about a month later, I got a handwritten note from her son saying, I see this song is about a parent's undying love for their child, so go ahead. So this is called Impossible. You tell me walk away, impossible, impossible. Say the world will never change, impossible too. It's a lonely road you're walking on, keeps you down on your knees. Give up on you, unlikely, improbable, impossible. I look at pictures of you when you were a kid. No one ever made me laugh the way you did. Now your darkest nights, they run like a bad dream you once had. Turn my back on you, unlikely, improbable, impossible. Throw the doors and windows wide, chase the ghosts out of this place. What good would living be if I never saw your face? I'm going to get a reputation with harmonicas because I forgot to put one on. Last time I forgot them in the room, so I'm getting closer. Eventually I'll get it right. Throw the doors and windows wide, chase the ghosts out of this place. What good would living be if I never saw your face? I go out searching through the shattered beams of light. I wonder where you lay your head down tonight. And I wait here patiently for your heart so open and wide. Give up on you, unlikely, improbable. Turn my back on you, unlikely, improbable. Walk away from you, unlikely, improbable, impossible. Oh, impossible. Oh, impossible. Excuse me. I could take a couple more questions if anybody. Yes?
How do you stay so grounded? I mean, your music is woven into the fabrics of our lives. Yet you stay Canadian, you stay involved. How do you do that?
Well, I don't think that there was a particular option for Greg and I. I think that we were always the same, and we did fail for a long time, and that helps. So I think that when we were successful, and as we've been successful, we have more concentrated on being a good band and writing good songs, and especially pushing each other to write good songs, than anything else. And we mock those other musicians that seem to become stars and need all this help. And it's just not, we have a very leavening kind of humor in the band, and if anybody were to get a big head, it would be cruel. So I think that Canada keeps you humble. I think that people that are fans are nice. They're respectful generally. I mean, it's not 100%, but generally, and so you're not pushed into isolation in this country, and so it hasn't been hard. Sir.
What's the origin and significance of the name Blue Rodeo?
When Greg and I were contemplating leaving New York, there was a little bit of a movement of a bunch of rock musicians, like people in Patti Smith's band and other people that were playing kind of a neo-country, but with unusual lyrics. There was a guy named Ned Sublett that was writing these country songs, but putting it in a rock context. And we thought that was interesting to us because we were tired of what was going on in New York. And we thought that we wanted to have a band that could be rootsy but also could jam. So we thought, what would we name our band if we were in San Francisco in the late 60s? And so Blue Rodeo seemed to be a slightly psychedelic country name. And it's funny because at the time there was so many rodeo. There was beat rodeo, there was rubber rodeo, but we've outlasted the bastards. Sir?
Earlier you were saying that you were writing an album, then Greg called, and then you're like, let's do Blue Rodeo.
Yeah.
Is there in your head like compartments for I'm writing for this and I'm writing for that, or it's?
I try never to overlap. I don't want, if I were to keep a song for myself that Greg discovered I had kept for myself when it should have been Blue Rodeo. So I don't overlap. What I had finished recording, I kept for myself, and then I started writing for Blue Rodeo. And I think honestly after all these years, there's quite a different way I write for Blue Rodeo than I write for myself. When I write for Blue Rodeo, I have all of those individuals in my head. I'm thinking about what the keyboards will do, what Greg will sing, what the guitars will do. And when I'm writing for myself, I'm really just by myself. These are just private thoughts, biographical or otherwise, or fiction. They're just for me. So it's clear to me when I'm writing what I'm writing for. And like I said, I try not to overlap because I don't want there to be a problem. I want my solo career to not be challenged by Blue Rodeo because it's fun. I like, I've had this solo band for 25 years. I have beautiful people to play with, and it's different. And so I don't want to wreck it.
Does it happen that you're writing something for your solo and you're like, I'll keep that for later with more Blue Rodeo, or you're really in the state of mind of?
I truly don't. I really don't overlap. I'm in a different state of mind, whether I admit it or not, when I'm writing for Blue Rodeo than I'm writing for myself. And it's really just time sensitive. When Greg called me, and I just stopped writing, and I actually used one song that I had written that seemed appropriate, and but other than that, I just wrote new songs for Blue Rodeo. Yeah. Yes.
Hi. How do you take a break from songwriting in your head and your heart? Because it seems to me that you must be constantly thinking about the song. The songs are about nature, about relationships, about love, about loss. How do you relax and change your mind? Or is there a moment when you're not thinking about it?
Oh yeah, I think there's an art to songwriting. There's an art to starting songwriting, getting totally wrapped up in the songs. When I write, those songs are in my head all the time. Like I tap my foot when I sleep, and I wake up thinking about it. But then when they're recorded, and then when we start playing them, I'm not thinking about songwriting anymore. So I haven't really written songs since it's a year now. And so I think that I need time with just playing and meeting people and having things happen to replenish the inspiration and the information to write songs. So I just don't think about it until, it's kind of germinating now, because I think that I'm going to get that call from Greg soon. And so I have to start thinking about that. And I think that also when I'm ready, I'm attracted to certain things I'm hearing. And I think that would be a good instrumentation to write for. So, and when I've just finished a record, I'm not noticing that at all. I just shut it down. Two questions. You were very popular on your first one.
Said a few times now that maybe you call from Greg or Greg would call you. You ever call him or?
It's more Greg's call, I think, because I'm, as Marie Soleil said, I'm so busy that it has to be, he's sort of stopping what I'm doing, and he's not consciously doing it. It's just time. I mean, Greg records all the time. He lives out in the country, and he's got a whole bunch of musicians out there, and he's writing songs. And that's what he does. But Greg does not want to work as continuously as I do. So no, I wait for his call. All right, maybe one more question. Hello, how are you?
Jim, you on stage tonight with Annie, bass, Basil.
Yeah, it's the same band. Like Joel Anderson's a drummer, Steve O'Connor's a keyboard player, Ann Lindsay, violinist, Basil Donovan, Colin Cripps, and myself. And then opening the show will be my son's band, Devin Cuddy Band, in his whole band. So.
Does he sing with you on any of the songs? Definitely not play with you later.
Well, generally he will, but tonight he won't, because they have to make it to Fredericton tomorrow. And they're not in a bus sleeping, so they have to leave after their show and get somewhere so that they can, I think it's like a 9-hour drive or something. So generally he will come up, and we're even thinking, when he's got his whole band out east, but when he goes west, he's just doing a duo, first of all with our other son, Sam, and then with his guitar player. And we were thinking that we would learn one of his songs, so he would have one band representation of a song.
23 years ago, when you played the Matter one and Still Vermont with the same lineup.
Oh yeah, no, it's just I've had the same band for 25 years. I think it's amazing. They're beautiful people, and they're beautiful musicians. I think it's. I'm always thinking that when we play, especially when it's a public, there's a lot of people. I think, how come people don't try to steal Ann or steal Colin? They're so good. All right, so unless there's one more, then I'll do another song, and then we can do yes.
How has it been sharing the stage with your son?
Oh, it's fantastic. I think there's a lot of pictures people take of me just looking at my son,
Yeah.
right? And but I'm also very, Devin is our eldest son. So Devin never wanted or took any advice from his father. The youngest son is more compliant and listens, but they have both. We've done a lot of work together, because we do these charity trips that raise money for Music Counts, and they're trips, bicycling trips in Europe and stuff like that. And we do a lot of playing there, and they do a lot of young people stuff, like a lot of drinking, a lot of fooling around. But they're very, very professional about music. They've never let me down, and it's a sort of a bit of a sticking point between my wife and I. So she said, "Look how much you're drinking." I said, "You can see that they fulfill their obligation, and every night they have to do something." So I admire their professionalism. I don't know if I ever wanted the things you said we wanted together. Now and forever. Too many nights I lie awake, listen to every breath you take like a stranger. Feel so out of place here, and I don't wonder what went wrong. But I wish your memory would leave me alone now and forever. I sit alone in this empty house, and your voice, just like a ghost, it comes to me. Chill passes through me. I packed your clothes and photographs, Sent you little treasures back to where you're living. Guess now I'm forgiven. Well, I can't believe it's true. I thought I'd always be in love with you now and forever. My life goes on just like before, in and out of closing doors. I don't love it, but I learned to rise above it. I found a girl now who will love me the way I wanted to. She don't shout it, we don't ever talk about it. Well, I can't believe it's true.